Hi and welcome to a Replica Airguns video. My name is Michael, and in this video we're taking a look at the Umarex Makarov, the full metal Makarov. Now if you haven't checked out my other video, it's a comparison video that includes this Umarex Makarov, the Umarex Colt Defender, the Umarex H&K USP, and the Umarex Smith & Wesson M&P. Check out that video where I also talk about this gun. Now this is a replica of the notorious Makarov PMM 9x18. Now there's a few versions of this gun, we'll get a little bit more into that later. There are other Makarov BB guns out there. Now this one is the Umarex model and it's made in Taiwan. Now it comes in this nice box, which is refreshing because many of these lower end BB guns tend to come in the plastic bubble wraps. Not my favorite type of packaging. It's a lot nicer when you get a BB gun to actually have a nice box like this. The presentation is always a little bit better. Let's take a look at this. Let's take a quick walk around of this gun. Of course you'll notice on this side we have the safety. Now there are a few plastic parts. I'll mention that the safety is plastic on this and the hand grips are also plastic. This is the slide catch here, but it's actually non-functioning. Now on the other side there isn't a whole lot. You have your ejector port and it's actually cut out, which is nice. Get a bit more into that later. And on the bottom you have your magazine release. Now it's not going to eject because it falls out via gravity. And then of course you have your CO2 screw here. And to get at the CO2, you essentially just pull this out and you can get at your CO2 that way. We'll talk a bit more about that. Now on the top of the gun, of course you have your sights, front sight, your back sight. You have your double and single action. Now this is a non-blowback gun, but the slide does function, which is nice. One thing though is this slide release is basically molded into the frame. One problem is you can't hold the slide back, but there's a little trick that I figured out. That's if you pull your slide back, move your safety up, you can keep your slide back. Okay, it's kind of well, it's half back, but it does work. And this is probably not good on the internal parts, but if you release this, releases the slide. So it's kind of neat. It's a workaround. It's not the actual intended way that that's supposed to work, but it does work. And the other thing you'll notice is when you actually have the safety on, you can't cock this gun. You can't use it in single or double action mode. Now again, this is an all metal gun with the exception of a few parts. It uses the 12 gram CO2. I'm not going to actually put it in and do all that, but you know, you load your CO2 in there like you normally would. Uses the standard 4.5 millimeter BBs. Now it has an 18 shot magazine, so we're going to pop that out right now. Again, you need to use a little bit of gravity to get it out. Like most of these magazines, a lot of them you can lock them open like this so that you can then put BBs in. And the BBs basically just go in the top here. And what I find is if you put your finger there, it stops the BBs from falling through and you can load them a little bit easier. When you're done loading it up to 18 BBs, just give this a flick and it's ready to go. Now it is a smooth bore barrel, so there's no rifling in the barrel. Again, it shoots in double or single action. This gun shoots about 380 feet per second, so it does have some decent power. And I was actually even able to shoot through a soup can with this, not right through it, but through one metal side. So that was pretty impressive. It can be field stripped, which is nice. So I'm going to do that now, like with most of these guns, like the PPK or the real Makarov. You just pop this off to the side. If you want, you can pull the hammer back. That sometimes it makes it a bit easier. Pull it back and up, and you can take this gun right apart. You can see your metal slide. And to put it back together, reverse order, and you're done. Really easy. Let's quickly take a look at a target. Now I shot this at 20 feet away from a standing position with no rests at all. I shot in single action mode, so with the hammer pre-cocked, and I was able to get this nice little group. And you know, it's not bad. This is pretty good from a BB gun from 20 feet away. 10 rounds. Didn't have any crazy strays. They all stayed pretty close to the group here. And most of them I'd say were right in here, with a couple that shot a bit high. Again, you know, this is just me shooting, not using any kind of arrest from 20 feet away, so you're going to have some human factor in there. I'm sure from a rested position I would have got a little tighter. But not bad. I shot a little bit to the right on this gun, so for me I was shooting to the right. I generally shoot fairly centered, so for me I might have to adjust my aim point a little bit on this gun because the sights are non-adjustable. Now I want to quickly just compare this to my other Makarov. I'm not going to spend a lot of time doing this, but this is my Russian-made Baikal Makarov, and this is a full metal gun, of course. This gun is really a very nice gun. It's solid metal with very few plastic parts in it. This gun is really, if you haven't watched my other video on, I'll put a link, but this gun is made in the Russian factory side by side with the actual real 9x18 Makarovs and shares many of the same parts. So if you haven't watched that video or any videos on the Baikal Makarov, make sure to do that. A little bit different magazine setup on this gun. CO2 and BBs go in the magazine. Now with this gun, there's a lot of pros. There's a lot of good points about this gun. And one of the best things about this gun is the fact that it's really good value for what you pay. It's well under $100 and you get a pretty much a full metal gun. And not only that, you get pretty good accuracy and power out of this gun. And a nice little bonus with this gun is the fact that you can shoot it in single or double action. And it's really nice to have that option. And of course, it is a nice replica gun. It's a pretty decent replica of the original Makarov. When I compared it to the Baikal Makarov, you can see it looks pretty much like the same gun. Obviously the materials and the workmanship are a little bit different, but the basic gun is the same. So some of the things that, you know, I wouldn't say I dislike, but maybe some people might consider negative points about this gun. It has no blowback. So, you know, if you're looking for that blowback action that's going to give you a little bit more realistic feel when you're shooting it, this gun won't do it. But on the plus side, you're going to get more shots per CO2. Now the slide catch has been molded into the frame here. I don't see why they couldn't have added that feature and made it an actual working part. That would have been really nice. And maybe for some, they might find this gun a little bit on the shiny side. It is very reflective. It's got a very glossy paint to it. But it is a nice looking gun overall. Now this gun is available in lots of different retail and online stores. We don't really carry it in our replica airgun store all the time, but if you are really interested in it, you can always ask us if we have stock on this gun and what our pricing is. Or, you know, if you want to upgrade to the Baikal Makarov, we try to keep that product in stock whenever we can as well. So thanks again for watching another replica airguns video, and stay tuned for some more videos on the guns that I did the low cost comparison on. Take care.